My fiancé wants a prenup out of nowhere after 5 years. I feel blindsided and don't know what to do. I thought I was getting married next spring. We had the venue, the guest list, the save the dates ready to go. Then out of nowhere, she sat me down and said she wants a prenup. No warning. No hint. Just, boom. It's just a formality, she said. But 5 years together, through broke years and better ones, and now this. I can't stop asking myself, did I miss something? Or worse, did she? We met during a blizzard. That's not metaphor, like, literal snowstorm, whiteout, wind slicing through your coat. I had just moved into this crummy little apartment in the city, and I locked myself out the first week. She was my neighbor, the one with the fuzzy socks and the hot cocoa and the sharp, funny mouth. Emma. We started dating slowly. Neither of us were in a rush. I was freelancing and broke as hell, delivering groceries on the side. She was already climbing the ladder in marketing. She always joked that I was her romantic liability. I'd laugh, but yeah, she paid for more dinners than I did back then. I never forgot that. Fast forward 5 years. We've lived together for 3. We adopted a dog, Miso, the chaos muppet. We split rent and bills pretty evenly now. I landed a steady gig doing UX design, finally earning enough to contribute like I always wanted. We've grown, together. Fought, made up, cried, built stuff. Shared dreams. Last year, I proposed. Picnic, ring, the whole speech. She cried, I cried, Miso barked at a squirrel. I thought we were on the same page. I knew we were. She even said, "You've always been my person." So when she asked if we could talk over wine, I figured she wanted to go over wedding seating charts or something dumb like who has to sit next to Uncle Rick. Instead, she dropped the prenup thing. I talked to a lawyer, she said, like she was telling me about a dentist appointment. My stomach did that thing, that cold drop you get when you miss a stare. A prenup? I asked. Where the hell is this coming from? She said something like, it's just to protect both of us. It's not personal. But here's the thing, it feels personal. Maybe that's naive. Maybe I'm being dramatic. But how do you spend 5 years with someone, real years, not fluff, and then say, oh by the way, I want to protect my stuff from you? She made 6 figures early in our relationship. I didn't care. I was proud of her. When I was hustling just to cover ramen and rent, she never made me feel small. We were a team. At least I thought we were. Now it's like there's this crack running through the middle of us. I asked her what specifically she wanted protected. She hesitated. Then she said, my investments, my bonuses, the condo I'm buying with my mom. Wait. What condo? Apparently she and her mom have been house hunting for a rental property. She never mentioned it. I don't know what messed me up more, the prenup or finding out she's been planning this side project without me. I asked, so you're building wealth with your mom while I, just float along in the background? She looked hurt. That's not fair. But damn it, it felt fair to me. We didn't fight. It wasn't yelling. But it was this cold, slow bleed. She said, I just think it's smart. Responsible. I said, what happened to what's mine is yours? She said, it's still that. Just, with paperwork. I couldn't sleep that night. I watched Miso roll around in his bed like none of this was falling apart. And now it's been 4 days. We're barely talking. The wedding's still on, technically. But I keep waking up wondering what else she hasn't told me. Am I overreacting? Is this just a normal part of getting married in 2025? Or is this a red flag I've been too in love to see? The thing about silence is that it's never really silent. It hums. It echoes. It fills the space between two people like fog, creeping into everything. That's what the last week has felt like. Emma and I are still doing all the surface stuff, taking Miso for walks, eating dinner, watching our usual dumb murder shows, but it's all quiet. Polite. Careful. Every conversation has this edge to it, like we're circling something sharp in the middle of the room. I keep wondering if I should have just said yes. Just signed the damn prenup and moved on. But that feels like lying to myself. Like saying, yeah, I'm okay with not being considered part of your future security. It's not about money. I'm not entitled to her savings or whatever she's doing with that condo. It's not about wanting a cut. It's about what it represents. It feels like she's building a plan B, preparing for failure. And that stings. On Thursday night, I tried to talk about it again. Can we revisit the prenup thing? I asked, halfway through an episode of Only Murders in the Building. She hit pause. I thought we agreed to give it space. I hadn't agreed to anything. I just stopped talking because she looked like she didn't want to hear it. I just want to understand, I said. Like, are you afraid I'm going to take something from you? She rubbed her eyes. She looked tired. Or maybe just done. It's not about you. It's about protecting myself. That kinda is about me though, I said. I'm the one you're marrying. If you need protection from me, what does that say? She went quiet for a long time. Then finally said, my aunt lost everything in her divorce. She trusted him. She didn't even see it coming. This was new. I didn't even know she had an aunt who'd been through something like that. And I'm not him, I said gently. I know, she said. But she didn't think he was him, either. She had a point. A dark, suck the air out of the room kind of point. And I get it, fear makes you plan. Fear makes you prepare. But I hated that I was now the potential threat in her head. When we got engaged, we talked about starting a family someday. About traveling. About maybe moving out of the city. All those things feel wobbly now. Like I can't tell if she still wants them with me or just wants them, period. Friday I went out with my buddy Derek. He's the guy who always orders 2 beers at once and gives unsolicited gym advice, but he's solid. He got married last year, no prenup. Dude, he said after I told him. I'd be pissed too. You've been together forever. She knows who you are. But I also get why she'd want one, I admitted. She earns more. She has more. I'm just trying not to be an ego baby about it. He shrugged. Still. It's like, the timing. 5 years in. After the engagement. That's what's weird. That's been gnawing at me, too. If it's such a logical step, why didn't she bring it up earlier? Before the proposal. Before we sent out save the dates. It feels like a trap door opened underneath our future and I'm the only one who fell through it. Last night, I sat on the couch after she went to bed and just stared at the ring box. The one I used to propose. It's this simple wooden thing I got on Etsy. She loved it. Said it felt like us. Now I'm wondering what us even means anymore. Because I still love her. Deeply. But I'm not sure I trust her the same way I did 2 weeks ago. Not because of secrets. But because she's planning for a version of the future that I don't want to imagine. And maybe the scariest part is realizing she already has imagined it. Saturday morning started with her phone buzzing on the nightstand, early, like 6:30 a.m. I wouldn't have checked, but it kept vibrating. I glanced. Group chat with her mom and sister, found one. Open house next weekend. I just stared at it for a second. That same ache in my chest I'd been trying to ignore all week came roaring back. She was still asleep. Peaceful. Like none of this was unraveling. I got up, made coffee, sat in the kitchen, and just steeped in it. That's the only word I can think of. I let it soak in fully. She was planning a whole second life, financially at least, with her family, and I was apparently just adjacent to it. When she came into the kitchen, all wrapped in that big fleece robe she wears, she kissed me on the cheek like normal. I didn't know whether to pull away or hold on tighter. She looked at me. What? I shook my head. Nothing. She could tell. Just say it. So I did. I saw your phone. The condo thing. You're still looking. With your mom. She went still. Then, I told you it's not personal. But it is, Em. You're building things without me. You're building escape hatches. That's not fair, she said. You're twisting it. Am I? Or are you just finally saying what you've been thinking for a while? She crossed her arms. You're making this about trust when it's really just about fear. I'm scared, okay. I don't want to lose everything if something goes wrong. Then why are we getting married? I asked, and my voice cracked. She flinched. We both stood there in that awful, loaded silence again. I love you, she finally said. But love doesn't mean we stop being practical. And that's when it hit me, to her, this is practical. Like insurance. Like seat belts. To me, it feels like laying bricks on a wall between us. I went for a long walk with Miso. He pooped twice and chased a pigeon, which honestly helped more than I expected. I thought about my parents. They've been married 32 years. No prenup. Barely any savings. Just raw trust and joint survival. Maybe that's foolish. Maybe it's outdated. But it's what I was raised with. I called my mom that afternoon, which I hadn't planned on. She listens more than she talks, which is good because I spilled everything. She said one thing that stuck with me: it's not wrong for her to protect herself. But you're not wrong to feel hurt either. The real question is whether you can live with how she loves. That wrecked me a little. Because I don't know anymore. Sunday we sat down again. She had a printed draft from her lawyer, not ours. I hadn't even seen a professional yet. She walked me through it like she was reading a lease. Investments separate. Future inheritance separate. Real estate separate. No spousal support clause. I felt small. When she finished, I just said, "This isn't marriage to me. This is partnership with a firewall." Her eyes welled up. "So what do you want to do?" And I didn't have an answer. The wedding's 4 months away. We have deposits down. Flights booked. Her cousin made a playlist. But all I could think was, how do I marry someone who's already halfway out the door, legally speaking? I told her I needed time. Space. I packed a bag and left for Derek's place. That was 2 nights ago. She hasn't called. Neither have I. I'm staring at my phone like it's going to tell me what the right answer is. I know people say marriage is about love and logic, heart and head. But I thought we were building something together. Now I don't know whose house I'm supposed to come home to. Update 1. Hey everyone. Didn't expect this to blow up the way it did. I read through almost every comment. Took a break halfway through because, honestly, some of them were brutal, but a lot of you gave thoughtful advice and some real perspective I clearly needed. A lot of you said I was being too soft. That I needed to stop romanticizing the past and pay attention to what's happening now. Some of you were even harsher. "She's already halfway out the marriage," one person said. "You're her backup plan," another wrote. That one hurt. But here's what really got me. Dozens of you said, it's not about the prenup. It's about how she went about it. And yeah. That's it. That's what I hadn't been able to articulate. I don't think the prenup itself is evil or even necessarily wrong. It's the secrecy. The timing. The way it blindsided me. The way she kept planning her future behind a curtain. So, yeah. I asked her for a pause. Not a breakup. Not yet. Just time. A few weeks apart. I needed space to think, to figure out if I was reacting out of pride, fear, or just heartbreak. She agreed. Kind of numbly. Like she expected it. I've been staying at Derek's for a week now. He's been surprisingly cool about it, even cleaned his guest room, which is a miracle. Miso's with me too. Derek's cat is less thrilled about that. Emma and I have texted a little. Logistics mostly. Can you send the guest list spreadsheet? Miso's flea meds are in the cabinet. That kind of thing. No emotion. No, I miss you. Just facts. And I'm torn. Because I do miss her. I miss the way she'd steal my socks and say it was tax. I miss late-night cereal runs and her weird playlists. I miss the way she'd fall asleep halfway through a movie, head on my chest, like I was home. But I don't miss feeling like I'm the last one to know the plan. I met with a lawyer. Just to understand what she was actually asking me to sign. And let me tell you, that document wasn't neutral. It was very much in her favor. No mention of what would happen if I built a business someday. No shared marital asset provisions. Just carve-outs and walls. The lawyer said, if you sign this, and the marriage ends after 5 years, you walk away with whatever you came in with. Period. Which would be, not much. It's not about wanting her money. It's about the fact that she's not treating the life we build together as shared. That changes everything. After the meeting, I sat on a park bench with Miso and just stared at nothing for a long time. It hit me all over again, this life we were supposed to be starting together. It's already been sorted into hers and mine. That's not how I grew up imagining marriage. It's not even how she used to talk about it. I haven't made a decision yet. But the more distance I get, the clearer it becomes. I can't go into a marriage feeling like a potential threat she has to guard against. She texted last night, "Can we talk soon?" I said, "Yeah. This weekend." So I guess that's the next step. One way or another, we're going to figure out what the hell we're doing. Thanks again to everyone who commented, supported, challenged me. I'll post another update after we talk. Wish me luck. Update 2. We talked. We met at the park where I proposed, not intentionally, at least not on my end. It was just halfway between her place and Derek's, and neutral enough. But the moment I saw her sitting there on the same bench where she said yes, I felt this heavy, bittersweet lump in my chest. She looked nervous. No makeup, hair in a bun, that old hoodie I bought her 2 birthdays ago. I wanted to hug her and also run in the opposite direction. "I've missed you," she said first. I nodded. I had too. That wasn't the question anymore. We sat in silence for a bit while Miso sniffed aggressively at a patch of grass like it held the meaning of life. Then I just said it. "I can't sign the prenup the way it's written." She didn't look surprised. "Just tired." "I talked to my lawyer again," she said quietly. "He said I could revise it. Make it fairer." I panicked, "Okay." My mom was pushing me. My aunt was warning me. I let them get in my head. I asked her if she even wanted to revise it, or if she just didn't want to lose me. She didn't answer right away. "Both," she said. "I want to marry you. But I'm scared of what happens if we don't work out." "Then maybe we shouldn't get married yet," I said. That landed like a gut punch. She shook her head. "We've built 5 years together. Are you really willing to throw that away?" I took a deep breath. No. But I'm not going to walk into marriage with 1 foot already out the door, even legally. That's when she broke. Like really broke. Started crying. Not the cute single tear kind, but the full, shaking, red-faced kind. "I don't know how to stop being afraid," she said. "Of losing myself. Of making the wrong bet." And I said, "But marriage is a bet. That's the point. If you can't take the risk, then maybe we're not ready for it." It was brutal. Saying it. Hearing it. Watching her hear it. We talked for another hour. About everything. About how money had quietly started shaping our dynamic in ways we didn't even realize. About how we both had been afraid to admit we'd grown into different versions of ourselves than when we first met in that tiny snowstorm apartment. And then, together, without anger, without drama, we decided to postpone the wedding. Not cancel. Not break up. But step back. Breathe. Rebuild some trust and actually figure out what we want this marriage to look like before we slap a contract on it and throw a party. She's going to therapy. I'm going too. Separately, at first. We're calling it relationship prehab, like preventative maintenance. We told our families. Her mom was not thrilled. My dad said, honestly. Smart. Weirdly affirming. Some of our friends think we're in denial. You're just delaying the inevitable, Derek said. Maybe. Maybe not. But this feels like the first mutual decision we've made in weeks. I don't know where we're going yet. But for the first time in a while, I feel like we're walking toward it together. I'll post again if anything major changes. Until then, thanks for riding this wave with me. Seriously. This weird little corner of the internet helped me find my voice when I didn't know I had one. Update 3. So, it changed. Not in the way I thought it would. Not gonna lie, this one hurts to write. It's been about 3 weeks since we postponed the wedding. During that time, Emma and I went back to dating, sort of. Still living apart, still doing therapy. There were moments it felt like we were healing. Laughing again. Sharing playlists. Holding hands during walks like everything was going to be okay, eventually. But then last Saturday, she texted me. Can we talk, for real? We met at her place. I brought miso. He ran to her like he'd been away a lifetime. She'd cleaned the whole apartment. Had candles lit. Wine ready. I thought it was going to be a "let's try again" conversation. But instead, she sat across from me and said, I don't think we're going to want the same kind of marriage. Just like that. I didn't say anything. My throat closed up. My hands got cold. I've been doing a lot of thinking, she continued. And I realized. I need a partnership where I don't feel guilty for protecting myself. Where I don't feel like I'm compromising my independence just to keep someone else from feeling insecure. It wasn't cruel. She wasn't blaming me. But she was ending it. I love you, she said, but we're not the same kind of forever. I asked her if there was someone else. She shook her head immediately. This isn't about anyone else, she said. It's about us not fitting in the way we used to. She started crying before I did. And when I finally lost it, it was like my whole chest cracked open. Because deep down, I knew. I knew that love wasn't going to be enough to bridge the distance that had grown between what we wanted, and how we wanted it. I tried to pretend we could meet in the middle, but maybe we both deserved to feel 100% seen in a relationship, not just 70% accommodated. We didn't fight. We hugged. Cried. Held each other like two people who knew a chapter was ending but didn't want to hate the book. I left with miso, a box of stuff, and the understanding that 5 years doesn't guarantee forever. No matter how much history you have. No matter how much you wanted to. The wedding is off. Officially. Deposits lost. Her sister's playlist deleted. It feels surreal. Like I'm mourning something that hadn't even happened yet. I've been quiet since then. Haven't told many people. Just needed time to sit with it. To not perform the grief. To actually feel it. A few days ago, I got a card from her. No text. Just a handwritten note. You were my first real love. Thank you for teaching me what that means. I'm sorry we didn't get the ending we hoped for. I still believe in everything we were. I don't know if that made it better or worse. But I do know this, I'm proud of how we ended it. We didn't tear each other apart. We didn't go down bitter. We just let go. As kindly as we could. And maybe that's its own kind of love. One that knows when to stop holding on. Thanks again to everyone who stuck with me through this. I'll probably log off for a bit. But this place helped more than I can explain. Take care of your people. Ask the hard questions early. And if you're not sure, it's okay to pause. Even if it breaks your heart. Final update. Hey Reddit. It's been almost 2 months since my last post. I wasn't sure I was going to come back and write anything else, but I've been thinking about closure, how we talk about it, how we wait for it, and sometimes how we have to create it ourselves. So, here's mine. A few weeks ago, I officially moved into a new apartment. Nothing fancy, just a 1-bedroom with creaky floors and suspiciously aggressive squirrels on the fire escape. But it's mine. And I think that matters. For the first time in 5 years, I'm learning what it's like to be alone without being lonely. Emma and I haven't spoken much. A few texts about logistics, one random photo of miso in a sweater she knit him. He hates it, by the way, sat down in protest and refused to walk. But the emotional part? That chapter's closed. Quietly. Respectfully. No hard feelings, just soft ones. I still think about her. I probably will for a long time. But I've stopped imagining the life we didn't get to live. I don't replay the proposal or the prenup conversation on loop anymore. I've let the ache settle into something gentler. Like background music you don't really notice unless you stop moving. Therapy helped. A lot. Turns out I had some deeper stuff wrapped up in the idea of commitment, the way I was raised, the stories I'd absorbed, the fear of being less than because I didn't have the money or status. Unpacking that was hard, but good. I realized I wasn't just reacting to the prenup, I was reacting to the possibility that I wasn't enough for someone I loved. That's the part that stings the most, not the end of the relationship, but what it revealed about how I saw myself. I'm working on that. Some of you messaged me to ask if I regret not signing the prenup, not going through with the wedding. And honestly, no. I don't. Not because I won some moral battle. But because I finally listened to my gut instead of just trying to be reasonable or accommodating. I stopped gaslighting myself into thinking my feelings were too much. That was growth. And I don't think Emma was wrong, either. She did what she thought she needed to protect herself. I respect that. I really do. We just weren't the right puzzle pieces anymore. I also want to say thank you. To everyone who commented, messaged, challenged me, or just lurked and followed along. Reddit gets a bad rap sometimes, but this weird, messy, deeply human corner of the internet, helped me feel less alone in one of the most confusing, painful moments of my life. You didn't just give advice. You gave perspective. And sometimes, that's what we need more than answers. So I'm okay now. Not amazing. Not blissfully rebounded or suddenly enlightened. Just, okay. Steady. Healing. Getting to know myself again without the lens of we. Miso's snoring next to me as I write this. He still chases pigeons like they owe him money, and he still refuses to wear the sweater. Some things stay the same. I'm signing off now. Thanks for reading this far, if you did. Thanks for being kind. And if you're going through something similar, ask the questions early, trust your instincts, and don't be afraid to walk away, even from something beautiful, if it starts to cost you your peace. Love doesn't always end in a wedding. Sometimes it ends in growth. And that's okay too.